Okay, so I come across a number of people, right, in this whole spectrum of people discovering their purpose and things of that nature. And I hear people who say quite interesting things. And I'm going to share some of the things that I hear them say and obviously give my view on those things. But today, we are definitely talking about time and chance as it relates to purpose. Okay. So our scriptural reference is going to be from Ecclesiastes 9, verse 10, 11, and 12. Okay, when I was just asking for feedback from people, one thing they mentioned a lot is that Mpumi every time it's the Bible. But here's the thing, purpose is given by God. And so if he's the maker, if he's the creator of this design, he has given us a manual, and that manual is the Bible. I have never in all my life seen a book as practical as the Bible. You know, when as Timothy, where it talks about the Bible being a two-edged sword, cutting through bone and marrow, and literally there's no aspect of our lives that the Bible doesn't cover. And so I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, purpose, and then I tell you what I think, or I tell you what I heard somebody say. We're using the manual that accompanies the design. We are the design, and we have a purpose, and the manual that we have is the Bible. Cool? Cool. Scriptural reference is Ecclesiastes 9, verse 10 to 12. But the first verse we're going to read is verse 12, and then verse 11, and then verse 10. So verse 12 says, "For man does not know his time. Like fish taken in a cruel net, like birds caught in a snare, so the sons of men are snared in an evil time when it falls suddenly upon them." So I come across, hey, Takalani, hey. So I come across people who say, Mpumi, there's still time, man. We've got our whole lives ahead of us. There's still time. What? Just 2 days ago on Monday, yo, you guys are coming in. Hey, Isaac. Hey, Sedi. I'm seeing you guys come in. So yeah. Just 2 days ago, we found out that a guy who lives in our streets, only 22 years old, passed away. And you want to tell me that there's still time? Whose time? Which time? Do we control time for us to relax and say, there's time? Also, this other guy who was like, Mpumi, I want to quit my job. Like, nah, he's a friend of mine. I want to quit my job. I really don't like this and stuff like that. And I sat him down and I said, firstly, we're not going to just quit on a whim. We are going to work out a plan, and then you can quit when this plan works. And then I took him through the strategy, right, and the plan. And then after, also, oh, hi, Mpumi, this is so much. I'm realizing that I'm going to have to apply myself so much. So what I'm going to do is just live, nje, because I have time. You have time. So all this time, another thing he said, Guti, I'll just go on with my life and hope to come across this purpose sometime in the future. Hey, Kulu friend, hey. So in this time, what are you going to be doing? Guys, we don't have time. And let me give you an example now. In varsity, I dated this guy that I absolutely adored. Absolutely adored. I used to be the person that thought, I will first finish school and then get married to this man that I adore so much, and then together we will tackle our purpose. I sincerely pushed my purpose off to a time that I did not know whether it was going to come or not, and to a time I don't even control. But I was okay with putting my purpose off until that time. This guy and I broke up, and I still had not pursued my purpose, and that was a wake-up call for me. This thing you were depending on is gone. Now you have no crutch. Now you have no excuse. What are you gonna do? And I was just, dang, let me do this purpose thing. Hey, Michelle, thanks for joining us. I was like, I'm doing this purpose thing. So I don't know what crutch you are holding on to, or what time you believe you have in the future. There's still time. No. There's no time for you to delay your purpose. Secondly, also, you hear people who say, yo, Mpumi, I think I've run out of time. Run out of time while you haven't run out of breath. Come on. Come on. You can't tell me you've run out of time to pivot back, because you know that when you're on a journey that you're not supposed to be on, the only thing it takes is you to pivot. So you're telling me, you're out of time to pivot. And the last thing I want you guys to do, you know how they talk about climbing the corporate ladder? I would hate for you to climb the corporate ladder only to realize that the ladder was put up against the wrong wall. I would hate for you to climb all the way up to realize, Guti, this ladder of yours was on the wrong wall. And that's why I'm saying, Guti, if you say you're out of time, oh, I've wasted so many years already, I do not want you to continue building a house when the foundation is weak. Because what's going to happen is you are going to fall through. You are going to fall through, and I don't want that for you. So when I hear people say, I'm out of time, Mpumi, I've already wasted so much time, or I've already dabbled into things, while you still have breath, you still have time. And you don't even know how long you'll have that breath for. Boss, when I told her, Guti, ma'am, I'm not going to stay in the bank for more than this year. She's like, you're still so young, Mpumi. This is career suicide. You know, you need to, and I'm just like, climb the corporate ladder. This is the wrong wall. This is the wrong structure. I'm not doing this. The only ladder I'm going to climb is the ladder up my purpose. Nothing else. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for your salary. Thank you. So yeah, and then I want you to consider, Guti, the times we're living in does not warrant you relaxing. COVID-19 is a perfect example. Things are falling apart, and we would never have guessed, Guti, this is how things are going to be. There's so much going on, and you think you can relax with the purpose that God has given you? No, the times we're living in does not warrant you to relax. The Bible, and I can't remember what verse this is, but it says, teach us to number our days so we may apply our minds to wisdom. When you see the days you're living in, when you consider carefully the things happening around you, you quickly apply yourself to wisdom. You guys, when I realized that my purpose was so important is when I got into corporate. And people kept asking me, Uguti, Mpumi, are you happy with what you're doing? And I would say, I can do it, but I know I'm not meant to be here forever. Like, this is just part of the journey. Are you happy to be here? And they'll say, hell no. If I could, I'd be doing something else. To hear Mr. Weiser at his retirement saying that he wished he had closed more deals for himself. To see, I work with some old people, to see them so miserable. Like, one of my former bosses, I asked him, Gutsi, what would you rather be doing? And he says, Lelo. Oh, at work they call me Lelo. He said to me, Lelo, I wish I had discovered what I needed to when I was younger. Then I would have done that. But I've wasted so much of my time. People who are saying, Gutsi, there's still time. Lalela, you could die tomorrow without having fulfilled your purpose. And I know it's when you're dead, you don't remember anything, you don't know anything, but I'd rather you spend your time doing what you are called to do. And then Lababati, there's no longer time, I've wasted my time. While you still have breath, do what you are called to do, and stop climbing walls that will not take you to where you're supposed to go. And my former boss once said, I got into the bank through a graduate program. So in the first year, which was 2018, our program lasted for that year. And then in 2019, last year, we found out some other girl that I got into the program with got a job in another division. So my former boss says to me, "Oh, Lelo, look, Bayakshia, this is progress." And I said to him, "Hey, dude, it's not progress if it's in the wrong direction. It's not progress for me because that's not where I want to be. I am meant to be here. I'm meant to fulfill a duty and a responsibility here. So if I consider that as progress, for me it's not. It is not progress unless it is in the right direction. So if it's in the wrong direction, it's not progress." And then we need to ask God to Teach us to number our days so we may apply ourselves to wisdom and know, Guti, I am in this generation, in this season for this time. So what is it that I'm supposed to do? And use our time wisely. Okay, and this one, is going to blow your mind. So Ecclesiastes 9 verse 11, this is Solomon still speaking. I returned and saw under the sun that the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, nor bread to the wise, nor riches to men of understanding, nor favor to men of skill, but time and chance happen to them all. What? Solomon is observing, it's not the capable ones that rise to the top. It's not even the ones who are brilliant that make the most money. It's not wise men. Wise men don't always make the wise decisions for their families. He says the brave ones are not always the ones that win the battle, and the fast ones are not always the ones that win the race. Time and chance happen to them all. Now listen to me very carefully. We have time and we have the chance. Depending on how we use these two things, our results may look different to what we expect. So, God has given us time in the form of life and literal hours like we're living now. And He has given us chances in the things that we can do, in the things that He's showing us. It is only those who use their time wisely and who take the chance that are going to make it. And please understand me well. Now, you guys know my heart. You guys know my heart. Sane, it is Ecclesiastes 9 verse 11. I often see, I'm a coach, right? So I often see other coaches doing big speaking gigs, and then I'm just like, how are they progressing so much? And then I ask myself a question, Wuti, that person and I have the same time. The only difference is that they took the chance. So they took their time to look for people to pitch, and they took the chance and pitched. And that's why they have the gig. Mina ngenzani, I'm sitting here waiting for people to spot me. Lalela. It doesn't work like that. If you are going to win in your purpose, you are going to have to take advantage of the time, and you are going to have to take the chance that comes with that time. Otherwise, you are not going to win. So let me just use this verse and speak to you, Ganje. If it's favor you seek, if it's riches you seek, if it's bread, meaning being able to take care of your family, if it's to win in whatever battle, or whatever race or journey you're on, you are going to have to take the time and the chance. Otherwise, khohlwa. We are using this time together to learn. And if you walk away from this conversation or from this entire challenge and you don't take advantage of everything that we've covered in this time, who is going to blame? Who is going to be blamed for you not having tapped into your purpose? You have the chance to literally ask me anything in the world that you want to regarding your purpose. If you don't take that chance. So favor is not always, I want to read it. Favor doesn't always follow the one who is most skilled. It follows the one who takes the time and takes the chance. Riches don't always follow the ones who are most brilliant. Guys, we see people who, you know my hats, who aren't that brilliant but are really making it in life, rising to the top. It's only because they took the time and they took the chance. I can tell you something about me, ne? I'm very outgoing. But one thing about me is I don't want to go out. Does that make sense? I can hold a good conversation. We can really vibe. But to put myself out there, to speak to head of whatever at work, I don't like doing that thing. And what has that caused? It has caused for other people to be seen as more knowledgeable, to be seen as more proactive than me. I would have done the job. I would know so much about whatever it is. But because I didn't take the time to reach out and the chance to speak out, I miss out on those opportunities. So we have the time here and the chance to tap into our purpose. Time we will never ever regain. And if we don't use this time, if we don't use this chance, we're shooting ourselves in the foot. We're shooting our own selves in the foot when we don't use this time to find our purpose. You guys, yesterday, let me tell you the scoop about what happened yesterday. So this lady who attacked me yesterday was telling me, Guti, you're still too young, Wena, to be telling us, Guti, your engineering degree, you don't use it anymore. I myself have done so many things. I've changed careers so many times. So the problem with you is that you're telling people to find their purpose at a certain age. And I'm just like, yo, Sissy, hold on. We have the time now. This is the prime of our lives. We are our smartest in this season of our lives. We have so many resources around us. Why wouldn't we use this time to find the purpose? And then let every career move be informed by that purpose. I even told her, Lalel, I'm not going to spend my life doing a trial and error. I want to be very clear on what my purpose is. And once I'm clear on that, I decide where to go. I decide which careers align to this purpose. I'm not going to, no. Not when I serve a God who gives us wisdom. Not when I serve a God who says, not when I serve a God who allows us to use this time and this chance to be able to find our purpose and then live it out. I'm sorry, but I don't subscribe to your notion, just like you don't subscribe to mine. And guess what you need to do? Go on your own platform and talk about what you believe. On this platform, I'm going to talk about what I believe. And funny enough, so many people were saying, I resonate. I wish I'd learned this 20 years ago. And I'm just like, who's telling me, Gusi, the crux of the problem is that you are telling people to find purpose at a certain age. Sissy, bye. We have this time. We have this chance and we have to use it wisely. I want favor to follow me. And I'm not saying this out of vanity, but I want riches to follow me. I want to make wise decisions and cater for my family. I want to win this race of life and this race that is my purpose. I want to win whatever battle is set before me. And it's not going to be one nje. I'm going to have to take the time to prepare and the chance. So essentially what I'm saying to you is, take this time to discover your purpose and then take a chance on what you discover. When you discover what that purpose is, take a chance on it. Take a chance on it. Okay. And the last verse we're going to read is verse 10. It says, whatever your hand finds to do, do it with your might. For there is no work or device or knowledge or wisdom in the grave where you are going. So I had to ask myself a question, Gusi, why didn't Solomon just leave this verse as, whatever you do, do it with your might? It would still make sense, right? We would still be convicted, Gusi, I have to do it with my might. He goes on to say, where you are going in the grave, there is no work, there is no device, there is no knowledge, there is no wisdom. Meaning, if these are the things we're going to be losing out at death, it's things we need to be capitalizing on while we are still alive. So while we are alive, whatever our hand finds to do in work, in work, we need to do it with all our might. In applying ourselves to wisdom, it needs to be with all our might. In using our knowledge, all our might. Device, all our might. Now, I also read this in the Clear Word version, and it said something to the tune of, whatever you do, whatever your hand finds to do your best and enjoy it. So, this takes me back to what Solomon wrote in Ecclesiastes 3 verse 22, when he said he has observed, he perceived that nothing is as important as man rejoicing in his work. Again, he comes to this conclusion, Yoguti, whatever work you do it with your might, or do your best at it and enjoy it. Apply yourself to wisdom. Do your best in acquiring wisdom and enjoy your wisdom finding. With a device here, when I read in that version, it says thought. Where you're going in the grave, there's no thought. You guys, I hate to admit this, nah? But I am most productive. I am most strategic. I am most creative whenever I have to consult or coach a young professional in search of their purpose. When I was still in mining, and don't get me wrong, guys, I'm mining nidom, and I didn't understand the things that were happening. It's not that. And also, I'm not saying it was so hard that I couldn't stay. I could. It's just I couldn't, because it's not where I was supposed to be. You get. So I remember when I was in consulting, in technical consulting at a mining firm, they wanted us to design mines. I could not apply myself, not effectively and efficiently anyway. Like, I just did things because I had to, but I couldn't think of any creative thing or innovative thing that could really change the game. I couldn't, because I was not called to that field. But as soon as this thing of purpose dropped in my spirit, I couldn't stop being creative. Every podcast episode, every day of this challenge, everything that I write, literally everything. When I coach and I consult, people are just like, how did you think of this? And I'm just like, this I know is the work I'm supposed to do, and I am doing it with my might. I'm giving it my best, and I am enjoying it. And I'm applying myself unto wisdom. I have full knowledge in this space because this is what I am supposed to do. This is where I'm supposed to be. So when Solomon tells us, whatever your hand finds to do, do it with your might. Because when you die, there's no work. So work with all your might. Do your best and enjoy it, because that is your heritage. It is your allotted portion. It is your individual possession. It is yours. Eyako. Your heritage, to find joy in the work that you do. And then he also says, there's no thought in the grave. So think with all your might now. And I'm telling you, Mina, my mind works overly creative, whatever the right term is, in this field of purpose for young professionals and turning that purpose into a profession. I excel in this space. Whatever your hand finds to do, do with all your might. In the grave, there's no knowledge. So while we have the time now to amass this knowledge, to learn this knowledge, and to share this knowledge, that is what we're going to do. In the grave where we're going, there's no wisdom. So when the Bible says, if any of you lack wisdom, you should ask God for it. That's exactly what we're going to do. We are going to acquire knowledge and live in that, acquire wisdom and live in that wisdom. So time and chance, that's the only way we're going to win. The only way we are going to see ourselves where we want to see ourselves. And that's it. That's it. I'm just going to do a quick recap. We read Ecclesiastes 9 verse 10, 11 and 12, but we started in verse 12. That basically tells us, Uguti, we don't have time. We don't have time. And if we think Uguti, we still have time. We can relax. Let me get married first. Let me get babies. We don't have time. You're still thinking, Uguti, no, let me give it maybe 2 more years, 5 more years. And do what's in the interim? Endure misery in the interim? I don't want that for you. It's not your heritage. It's not your heritage to be miserable in the interim. We don't have time. And if you think you've lost time, guys, We are dealing with a God who restores time. He is a restorer of time. And what he also promises, what the locust has stolen, he will restore. We deal with a God who specializes in restoration. So there's no time that we have lost next. Now is our time and our chance to learn what we must, to discover our purpose, and to dedicate the rest of our work and the rest of our lives pursuing it relentlessly, unapologetically, impactfully, fulfillingly, and sustainably. Verse 11, we read that the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, nor bread to the wise. Guys, I was coming along fine. And one word, nor riches to men of understanding, or favor to men of skill. But time and chance happen to them all. It's not people who are extraordinary that get extraordinary things done in their lives. It's people who capitalize on time and take the chance. Spend this time in discovering your purpose and then take a chance on that discovery. Rotenda, misery is not your heritage. It's not mine as well. And that's why I decided to see, I've already gotten my heritage. I'm going to live this legacy before I leave it, because I don't know what will become of this legacy when I'm gone. And then verse 10, we are taught to whatever your hands find to do, do it with your might. Do it to the best of your ability and enjoy it. The work that you do, do it to the best of your ability and enjoy it. And you've already established, there is no work that is worth actively engaging in outside of our purpose. It's fine, like it could be profitable, but is it really worth actively engaging in? Will it fulfill you? Will it be impactful? Will it serve God? Will it give glory to God? Will it make you hit your head on the pillow at night and say, I have lived a life of purpose? Ask yourself those questions. But he also tells us, ooh, that voice, babes. Which voice, guys? The voice, yeah. The voice, yeah. Okay, I'm being silly. I'm being very silly. We're also told in the grave, there's no work, there's no thought, there's no knowledge, there's no wisdom in the grave. So while we are alive, these are the things we should be doing and pursuing with all our might. Wisdom, knowledge, thought, and work. Time and chance happens to us all. But how we use what is freely given to us by God is up to us.